you already need to do. And so maybe noticing, whoop, hit the singing bowl with my toe. Maybe noticing if you need to have any extra support tonight, if that means pillows and blankets around you. Or maybe you're already ready to settle in and you can start to relax the eyes, if that means closing them or finding a point in front of you. And same as we started last night, if there's anything that you want to do with the neck already before we find our stillness and go into our breath work, you can start to do some circles with the neck, or maybe roll out the shoulders a few times. Maybe little wiggles. And then as you're ready, slowly starting to find your stillness. Bringing some attention to the posture. And so finding something that feels supportive, but not necessarily forced. And so starting to grow a little bit taller, reaching through the crown of the head, grounding down in the sit bones. And just tiny little adjustments. They don't need to be big. You can bring the shoulders up towards the ears. And then exhale to roll them back and down, seeing if you can keep that little lift in the chest. And just noticing how it feels here to sit up a little bit taller, make the neck just a little bit longer. And seeing if we can hold this, keep this in a way that doesn't feel too forced. And then bringing the attention down to the breath. And so maybe the breath already changed a little bit when you changed how you were sitting. Just kind of checking in. Is it hard to breathe today for any reason? And then gradually at your own pace, taking a little bit more air in as you breathe in. And releasing a little bit more air out as you breathe out. And just taking about 5 more rounds like that at your own pace. Adding a little bit more air with every breath if you can. And as you stay with increasing the depth of the breath, and just follow the sound of the singing bowl. All right, we'll take one final deep breath as you just were, seeing if this can be the fullest one you've taken so far, filling up with as much air as you can, breathing in through the nose. Feel that fullness really fill up, fill up, fill up, and then big dramatic exhale out the mouth. See if you can relax the shoulders as you breathe out. And we'll start to go into our box breathing. So you can flip the palms up in case you want to incorporate the hands once I throw in that option. But we'll start to breathe into a 4 count, hold for a 4 count, breathe out for a 4 count, hold for a 4 count. So just finding some pauses in between the spaces between the inhale and the exhale. And so beginning together, inhaling through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. I'll do a couple more with the count and then just let you go. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. And just say inhale, exhale, inhale, hold, exhale, hold, Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Now bringing in the hands the next round if you'd like. Inhale to curl the fingers in. Making that little fist, you can hold that fist. Exhale, release. And then maybe feeling a little stretch in the palms and then hold. Keeping that going, just adding the hands, breathing in, curling in the fist. Hold. Exhale, release. Hold. Couple more, go at your own pace. And last two. And finishing up the last one. And after that last exhale, allowing the hands to relax. Taking a couple natural breaths, checking in. And then we'll just squeeze out the hands a little bit. And so a little bit different than what we did last night is just kind of pumping the hands, I guess. And so just allowing the hands to kind of stretch out and then pulling them back in. And you can just do that really quickly a few times and then just notice how it feels once you let the hands relax. And then shaking out anything that's left over there, getting all that out of the hands. And then from here, we'll just find our way to tabletop. Going right into finding some hip circles. Penelope is just aiming to get kicked in the face, chilling back there, but whatever, she picked her spot. And so starting to close the eyes or just finding your point of focus on the floor, making big circles with the hips, exhaling as the hips go back towards the heels. Inhaling as you pull the chest forward, maybe going a little past the fingertips. Just taking a few circles in this direction, and then you can switch whenever you're ready. You can take your time, going nice and slow. Maybe adding any little variations that you'd like. Finish up your last couple circles. And then we'll pause in the center. You can exhale to start to find a child's pose. Drop the hips back towards the heels. Really crawl the fingers forward so you're kind of getting a stretch in the shoulders. You can find the length that you want your arms, and then exhale, allow the forehead to drop down. You can find your little rocking side to side movements or just start to find your stillness. And we'll take 3 belly breaths here. Finding any kind of sounds on the exhales. We'll take 1 more deep breath. Next, inhale, pulling yourself back through a tabletop, walking the hands a little bit further forward. Starting to tuck the toes, and I'll be still in my way. Exhale, hips up towards the ceiling, finding your downward dog. And taking about 5 breaths here to start, just moving around, playing around. And maybe kind of shifting into high plank if that's something that's working, and then back to downward dog. If not, don't worry about it. After doing 1, I realized I don't want to do anymore. Know your limits for every day. Have a couple more breaths, and then starting to slow it down, being still in the center. And then once you're still, really pushing the ground away with the hands. Getting that kind of lift in the shoulders, maybe lifting the hip points further up towards the ceiling, and then exhaling the weight into the heels. We'll start going into our little flow that we set up last night. And so starting to walk the hands back towards the feet. You can find your forward fold, either letting the arms be heavy, fingertips towards the ground, or grabbing opposite elbows. We'll take our time here first, moving slow. Finding your little sway, maybe the chin goes towards the chest. Take 2 more breaths in our fold. And then if you are reaching for opposite elbows, you can allow the fingertips to get heavy towards the ground again. We'll inhale, hands to shins for our halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Next, inhale, arms circling all the way up, palms touch at the top. You can look between the palms as they touch. Trying to move towards our little back bend. You can send the hips and the thighs forward, center of the chest reaches towards the ceiling, the eyes can follow the palms. And then exhale back to forward fold. Inhaling, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Now taking our time, walking the hands back to downward dog, little steps, finding out how it feels in each position with the hands. Take a deep breath in downward dog, push the ground away. And then we'll inhale, pull the chest forward, finding our high plank or knees drop to the floor. Exhale, lowering all the way down so we can set up for cobra. Inhale, lifting through the chest. You can keep the gaze down towards the floor, dropping the shoulders down a little bit. Exhale, back down. And tucking the toes, either pushing through to tabletop or push right up into a high plank. Exhale, downward dog. And 3 breaths here before we move through it again. We'll inhale. Big exhale. Last 2. And last 1. Next, inhale, slowly walking the hands all the way back towards our fold. And taking your time, we'll be in our forward fold for about 5 breaths. So moving around, maybe this time having something different with the hands. You can interlace the fingers on the base of the skull, allowing the head to get a little bit heavier. Maybe a couple more sways, last 2 breaths. If the hands are lifted, you can allow them to drop back down. Inhale into our halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Little bend in the knees. Inhale, arms come all the way up, palms touch the top, back to a little back bend, maybe finding it a little bit deeper, maybe not. Feel it out. Chest lifts up towards the ceiling, hips and thighs forward, maybe squeezing the glutes in a little bit. Exhale, back to our fold. Last time, inhaling, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Again, take your time, walk it to your downward dog. I'm turning this into a musical episode, sorry. I'm starting to, again, lift the hip creases up towards the ceiling, heels drop down, couple breaths before we flow it out a little bit. One more exhale. Inhale, shifting forward, again, high plank or knees drop. Exhaling to lower all the way down. Inhale, bring yourself into your cobra, maybe pressing the tops of the feet into the floor. Pull the shoulders away, reach through the crown of the head. Exhale, drop it down. Starting to tuck the toes, passing through a tabletop. Or exhaling, or right up into a high plank. Sorry to forget what I was talking about. Exhale, back to downward dog. This time we'll inhale to bring the right leg all the way along behind. You can flex through the foot. Exhale, step it through between your hands. And either keeping the back knee lifted or dropping the back knee down. You can rest the tops of the hands on the floor, and we'll just take 3 deep breaths, holding right here. Maybe looking past the toes if the eyes are open. And then on the next exhale, if the back knee is lifted, you can drop it down. We'll inhale, bring the arms all the way up. Palms can touch at the top, finding our low lunge and holding here for a couple breaths now. You can really bend into the front knee, press into the front foot. You can either have the back toes tucked like I do, or flatten them out and press into the top of the back foot. Last 2 breaths. Inhale, reach the center of the chest up. See if you can relax in the shoulders or somewhere in the face. 1 more inhale. Exhale, hands come back down, framing the front foot. We'll take it into a twist. You can leave the left hand down. Inhale, right fingertips start to reach up towards the ceiling. You can look up towards the right hand if that's okay for the neck, or looking down towards the left hand. We'll take 2 more breaths, maybe rotating the top wrist a couple times. There's a lot of pressure on the wrist maybe in our little flow that we set up. Take 1 more inhale to reach. Exhale, bring it back down. And hands are framing the front foot, tucking the back toes if they aren't tucked already. Sending the right leg long behind, back to downward dog. You can shake the foot out a couple times. And then dropping it back down. We'll inhale, walking the hands all the way back to our forward fold. Take a rest once you get there. Maybe notice if the right leg and the left leg, left hip feel different. A dramatic exhale. I've been feeling extra dramatic lately, so if you're feeling it too, really sigh it out. Next, inhale, coming into our halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Little bend in the knees. Inhale, coming all the way up, looking at the palms as they touch. Little back bend. Exhale, back to fold. And inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Last time to walk the hand towards downward dog, making any little pit stops on the way, little rest stop. Take a couple breaths in downward dog once you get there. And then left side, left leg lifts all the way up. Exhale, stepping it through between the hands. And seeing where you're at, if you're dropping the back knee down, keeping it lifted. Allowing the tops of the hands to rest down. About 3 breaths holding right here. And then if the back knee is lifted, you can start to drop it down. Inhale into our low lunge. Palms can touch at the top. And sending the front knee forward, opening up the right hip. Chest can lift up towards the ceiling. A few more deep breaths. One more inhale. Exhale to bring the hands back down and leaving the right hand down. Inhale, left hand comes up into a twist and looking up towards the ceiling, down towards the floor. See how it feels for the neck. You can rotate the top wrist. One more inhale to reach up. Exhale, bring the hand down, hand tucking the back toes, press the palms into the floor. I got a little stuck. You can send the left leg long behind, shake it out. And then when you're ready, drop your foot down towards downward dog, a couple deep breaths. You know, yoga keeps you humble sometimes. Sometimes you can do things, sometimes you just can't, and that's okay. Last 2 breaths. On the next exhale, you can drop the knees down. We'll find our tabletop again. And going through a few cat-cows. You can inhale, let the belly drop towards the floor, lift up through the chest, hip bones reach up. Exhale, pull the belly button in around the spine, finding your cat. You can take a pause right here, noticing how it feels. In the shoulders, the upper back. You can pull the belly button in a little bit tighter if you'd like. And then next inhale, drop the belly down, lift up. Take a couple more at your own pace. And once you finish your last exhale, really curling into your cat, we'll inhale to neutral. And then same as what we did yesterday, we'll find our cow shape and then exhale into child's pose. So optional to have the toes tucked for the little stretch for the bottoms of the feeties. Skip it if it's not feeling right. We'll inhale again, let the belly drop down, reach the chest or the arms, find your cow. Exhale, you can walk the hands a little bit further forward, push back for child's pose. And move as slowly as you'd like. Really take your time if you want to hang out a little bit longer in each shape. And then just keep flowing. Inhale, pulling forward to cow. Maybe a little adjustment with hand placement. Exhale, child. We'll take about 5 more cycles of breath here. So again, find what feels best. Keep it moving or find some stillness in either shape. I'm taking my little break to catch my breath so you can actually understand what I'm saying. We'll take the last 3 breaths. And last one. On the last exhale, you can just hang out, hold your child's pose, find whatever version of child's pose is working. Maybe choosing to have the knees close together, arms by your side, or knees as wide as you'd like. Really reaching the arms forward. And we'll have 5 belly breaths here. And so just allowing yourself to let the upper body sink towards the floor. Maybe the chin is resting on the ground if you want that little stretch for the throat, or the forehead resting down if you kind of want to massage the third eye area or massage the forehead area. Okay, now it's going to be 3 more breaths because I got myself comfortable. This is why I don't do child's pose when I teach. The last 2 breaths. And last one, you can make it the biggest breath. Sigh it out. Next inhale, walking the hands back towards the body. If the knees are separate, you can bring them in. And we're gonna just play around with a little bit of a twist for the upper body. If it's crazy uncomfortable to be sitting kneeling, you can flip the legs around and sit flat on the floor. Otherwise, just taking a moment, having the hands resting on top of the legs. We can find our little posture tweaks again. So maybe starting to lift up through the chest, the shoulders can drop back and down. Reaching through the crown of the head, grounding down on whatever is making contact with the floor. Take a full inhale. Big exhale, whatever you want to do. Next inhale, circling the arms all the way up, glancing between the palms as they touch. Starting to bring our focus to just the right hand. On the exhale, start to watch the right hand go behind. The left arm will start to drift forward. We'll hold here for a breath. If it's too difficult to look behind towards the hand, you don't want to strain the eyes too much, you can just look in the center, anywhere that feels accessible. Take 1 more breath here. Stay for the exhale. As much as you can, start to reach the right arm all the way back up, starting to follow it with the eyes once you can. Exhale, following the left hand, letting the right arm naturally drift forward. Again, pausing for a breath in the shape. Next, inhale, watching the left arm circle all the way back up. One more time each side. Exhale, watching the right hand go behind. Pausing for a breath. Inhale, circling back up, palms touch. Last one. Oh, there's a spider on my ceiling. Exhale, watch the left arm go behind. Sorry, I just felt the need to share that as I saw it. One more breath. Inhale, left arm comes all the way back up, palms touch at the top. Exhale, guiding the hands down to the center of the chest. And you can look towards the fingertips. Maybe allowing the chin to drop down. Take a moment of gratitude, appreciation, anything that you would like to send towards yourself or maybe send towards someone else. We used our practice to release any tension, energy that was stored in the body and the mind, making way for good energy, good things. And so holding on to that, or choosing to share it with someone. Taking a full breath in, thinking of whoever you're sharing it with or how much you're offering to yourself. Big breath out. You can start to drop your arms down by your sides. We'll just do a little bit of a stretch for the side body. You can reach, I'll switch my angle. You can reach the right arm up and over, leaving the left fingertips on the ground. Really reaching through the right fingertips. You can look over towards the right side, maybe rotating the top wrist a couple times. And we'll inhale back to center. Exhale, other side. Let the right arm drop down. You can reach up and over with the left arm, maybe looking towards the left. And just one more time each side. Inhale it up. Exhale, left hand down. Inhaling up. Exhale, right arm down. Next, inhale back to center. And we'll just exhale, bringing both hands down. You can start to swivel the legs forward. And once the legs are out in front of you, I'll switch my angle up again, getting my workout in today with this. You can just start to tap out the legs, let all that go. And then you can start to bring the soles of the feet to touch. We'll just do one more little forward fold, lifting up through the chest. Exhale, you can round it all forward, allowing the head to be heavy, just getting a little opening in the hips. And take about 4 deep belly breaths here. Last breath. I'll inhale it back up to center. You can bring both sets of hands, both sets of fingertips. I don't know why I'm saying things that sound weird tonight. Anyways, reaching the legs back out in front of you. We'll slowly just start to drop down onto the forearms. You can have the palms pressing into the floor. Doesn't have to be super dramatic. We'll just start to lift the center of the chest and allow the head to drop back, almost like you're going towards fish pose, but we won't unless you really want to. And just allow the head to drop back, keeping that lift of the chest, keeping some strength in the shoulders. We'll just take 2 more breaths here. You can allow the feet to relax, the legs to relax. And then as you're ready, keep walking yourself all the way down until you're lying on your back. And you can find any little wiggles here. Oops, I just laid my head right on Penelope. She let me know that real quick. And so finding little wiggles, rocking the hips side to side, And finding any rotations of the wrists or the ankles. And then maybe starting to just drop into your stillness and your relaxation here, or feel free to choose a shape of your choice for about 5 breaths. And so wherever you feel you need to be right now, and then just be there. If you're in a shape where you need to switch sides, feel free to switch now. And then you can start to finish up if you're doing anything else. Maybe hug the knees in towards the chest. Start to find your Shavasana. Set yourself up with anything you want around you. Allow the natural breath to take back over. The eyes can start to close or soften on a point. And just breathing a little bit of gratitude for the practice that you showed up for, that you offered for yourself, and to whoever, if you chose to share it with anyone. And as you just rest, breathe, and be as you are right here, right now, I will share the reading of the week by C.B. Garnsworthy that says, I hold my head high, aligned with my higher self as I surrender wholeheartedly into the power of the universe. I keep my eyes focused. I release any fears and keep myself open to the magic of the universe. I let go of any negative thoughts or ideas that creep into my mind, for I know that any emotions are merely visitors, just testing my patience, my knowledge, and faith in the universe. I am resilient and strong. I am capable of achieving my dreams. There is nothing holding me back from receiving my success, only if I choose to side with fear, only if I breathe life into the things that do not serve me. And so I am aware of my vibration. I am checking in with my feelings. I stay aligned with love and I side with the power of the universe, for I am one with the universe. I am the creator of my reality. I am, I am. I am whatever I choose to be. I am me. I am free. And so while you continue to rest and being kind and patient for anything that has come up or that is coming up, allowing each feeling in the body, each emotion that comes up, each thought that comes up, letting it be information for us and how we can further support and take care of ourselves. And that way, being able to support and take care of others. And so just bringing the attention back to the little subtle movements that might be happening naturally as you breathe, or the points of contact that the body is making with the ground, and just letting that be a reminder that you're alive, that you're here, and that is enough for right now. And so staying here for as long as you'd like, resting and being and breathing. And thank you for showing up to practice. So honoring the light and the dark sides of us all. Namaste.